okay. That bread, we're gonna get to the bread thing here. Okay, I'm not a proponent of bread unless it comes on a sandwich. And I've had that rule for many moons, you know, since I've been in fitness. White bread, wheat bread, I mean, the best bread out there is sourdough.
Sourdough?
Okay.
Oh, I love sourdough. Really? Okay.
Yes, sourdough is the best bread. The number 2 best bread is pita. Okay? So anything beyond after that, I mean, whole grain bread is good, but you got to watch how many of those slices you're going to eat. Okay? Always remember that. Now, that white bread, do not buy white bread. You know, so you want to stay away from the white breads. A lot of the wheat breads commercially that they sell, you kind of want to avoid those. They're just white bread that look brown. Okay. So you want to, I mean, if you're going to do breads, you want to do whole grain, okay, and you want to do a sourdough or a pita.
Wow, okay.
Okay? But remember, you don't eat a bunch of them. I mean, the average sandwich has 2 pieces of bread. I mean, that's about all you need. And I'm gonna tell you, a pita bread is thick. So one of those kind of fills me up. I'm like, okay, I'm done. All right. But do we have everybody in the back? Who's in the back?
Oh, wow. Where you going? They ran. They're hiding from you.
That's okay. Well, we'll get started. Okay.
Hey, Don, get them next time, Louis and Dominic.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them. You know, especially on leg day. I'm gonna have to take them to the gym and put them on leg day. All right, so this month is all dedicated to carbohydrates. Last month was proteins, and I hope a lot of people learned a lot about protein, how important it is for your system, your muscles, your bones, your brain, and everything else, especially the hormones. This month, like I said, we're going to talk about carbohydrates. All right. In the last 20 years, I mean, they've come up with all of these carb cutting diets and, you know, to make people lose weight. Well, we're not about carb cutting. We're about carb quality. Okay. That is the key, carb quality. So, you know, it's controversial on most aspects when people talk about the carb cutting, carb quality, and carbohydrates in general. So we're going to break it down because, see, one size doesn't fit all. All right. Everybody's carbohydrate needs depends on their energy expenditure throughout the day. Okay. That's what you really need to understand. So we're trying to lose weight. Okay. And we're thinking about carbs. We're not saying cut all carbs out. We just want to do portion control. You're going to hear me say that for many, many, many months. Portion control is the key. Okay? That is the key. Portion control, whether it be protein, whether it be carbohydrates, whether it be healthy fats, whether it be water or anything, it's portion control.
Or going for seconds control.
So we just need to watch that. So basically in our carb basics, it's found in almost every food that you eat, except for lean meats. You know, I even found it in chicken, and I'm still trying to figure out how the hell it got there. But if they say so, it's there. It provides about 4 calories for every gram, where protein and fat is 9. Okay. Now, you can imagine that all carbohydrates, and we know now, are not created equal. All right? There are different types of carbohydrates, and they affect your blood sugar in particular very differently. So this is where you have to be cognizant of how much bread you eat, how much pasta you eat, how much rice, how much potatoes. Again, coming down to my favorite word, portion control. Okay, once you understand that, just wrap your head around it. If you eat too much of it, what happens? The body has to convert it and store it. If you have too much, it's going to convert it straight to fat, and that's what we don't want. But at the same time, certain carbohydrates will spike your insulin level. And if you're diabetic, that is not a good thing. All right, now there are two basic types, a simple carb and a complex carb. How many know what a simple carb is? Any hands? Anybody know?
No.
Does anyone know what a complex carb is?
No.
All right, simple carbs are very simple. Sugar. Okay. Sugar is a simple carb. Okay. It's basically made of one or two very simple building blocks connected in a chain. Because a fat chain is got a little bunch of little things on it that's like a link chain. Okay, but the sugar and the building blocks of that is basically glucose. You heard of glucose, right? Yeah. Okay, there you go. You heard of fructose. Okay, that is fruit sugar. Okay, you heard of galactose. All right. Now, but these are shorter chains than what we call of sugar than it is in a complex carb. So what happens is they're very easy to break down. Complex takes a little bit longer. Simple does not. But the simple is the one that's going to spike the hell out of the sugar level, the insulin level, and it's also going to, how would we say, easy to eat because they're sweet. Okay, so whenever you eat chocolates and candies and cakes and donuts, and if you're Filipino and you eat the cots and all of the other little rice treats, if you're Hispanic and you eat those lovely Mexican treats they got over there at the pastry shop, you will be eating a whole bunch of them. Trust me, they suckered me in once. They were cheap and I bought like $12 worth of them and I ate them all. Boy, did I blow up. I was like, yes, but they were so good and they looked tasty. So foods high in simple carbohydrates, including sweeteners, your table sugars, your syrups, even honey is a simple sugar. Okay, candies, jellies, jams, fruits, certain beans, and definitely in refined flour. Not a good thing, okay? We're gonna try, you can eat those, don't get me wrong. We're not eliminating them. We just wanna do what? Portion control, okay? You'll probably hear them beeps going off constantly. All my machines are on right now, okay? So that's what we're trying to do is just minimize how much of that we eat, all right? And it should be more complex than definitely simple. Even if when you get your coffee, I forgot who was in there and they said they put a bunch of cream and sugar in there, probably more sugar than cream and more sugar and cream than coffee. Okay, coffee by itself has 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 fat. The minute you add all of that other stuff to it, you take it straight to 200 to 300 calories instantly. Yeah. I learned that when I get way of going to Dunkin' Donuts, getting my mocha latte every morning. And I put that in my fitness pal and I said, 500 calories, wow. So you can imagine that it doesn't take much. Now, moving on to complex carbohydrates, think of starch and fiber. Okay, that's what you want to think of. It's made of the 3 sugars or 3 of them are connected in the chain where the simple is 2. Okay, takes a lot longer to break down. Certain ones may spike the insulin level, but it's rare because you normally eat these carbohydrates with vegetables and meat. So it slows down that process. Where with simple carbohydrates, you eat a donut with a donut or a donut and coffee with cream and sugar. You see the correlation there? So when you're eating the complex carbohydrates, think of bread, okay? But again, my favorite bread and the healthiest is the sourdough, the whole grains, okay, and the pita. Okay, think of rice, think of pasta, all right? Think of beans, whole grains, and vegetables. Those are gonna be your complex carbs, okay? Even in potatoes. Potatoes are good if you like potatoes. I think Pam last time when she was on, she loved potatoes. Nothing wrong with them, you just can't eat the whole basket, okay? All right, fiber is a carbohydrate, but it doesn't contribute much to the calories because it can't be broken down or absorbed. Remember that. Good fiber does come from your carbohydrates. That's in, like, say, if you eat broccoli, you eat asparagus, okay? If you leave the skin on the potatoes, one, it has all the minerals and nutrients in it. Two, it is very high in fiber. So always remember that. When you look at a nutrient label now, you will actually see that the dietary fiber and the sugar is now listed. So it's easy to see exactly what you're getting, especially the sugar department, because it shows you the added sugar, which are what? Simple carbohydrates. All right, so understand that. Just cut back on them. Don't eliminate them, just cut back on them. Do what we should do, due diligence, and understand exactly, okay, this is how it works. Too many carbohydrates, not enough exercise. Guess what happens? It will be converted into fat. And if your body ran out of fat cells, it will create more and store it there. And then it's hard to get rid of. Okay, how to determine how many carbs you need. Did everybody get my email earlier this week about I need your neck measurements again because I lost the last sheet?
No, wrong group.
Ah,
No, Jesse found it. Jesse found your sheet in the parking lot.
that's where it fell out of. I tore my entire office up looking for that.
See how much you care about us?
That's HIPAA. We're suing you.
All right, well, is she there? What I want her to do is copy that thing and email me a copy. Okay, that is going to be how I determine, okay, how many carbs you really need in a day. Because it's also based on the exercise that you do per week, okay, per day, how much you weigh, how tall you are, all of that factors in. Everybody is not the same. I actually require well over 800 grams of carbohydrates a day. For most of you, it'll probably be somewhere around 150 to 200. Okay, but remember, I work out constantly. Your body, to perform its basic functions, it needs carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are your friends. It is not your enemy. Just don't eat a lot of them. Glucose is what we call the preferred fuel source. That's what carbohydrates get converted into. It gets converted into glucose, stored in the liver and in every cell of your muscle. So whenever you're working out, Juliana, Christina, okay, whenever you're working out, the first minute or two is all carbohydrates. Okay, and then it starts to replenish itself. Okay. Ooh. Now remember this something. A lot of people don't get this and they're learning the hard way. If you do not eat enough carbohydrates and your body's burning that for fuel, it will switch over and burn your muscle, pure protein, for fuel. You don't want that to happen. You'll feel lethargic, you'll end up with ketones, little kidney problems that we do not want. And basically what they say, how many carbohydrates you need a day, the RDA says 130 grams for the average individual, the minimum amount, that's the minimum. Okay, like I said, probably most of you would have at least 200 to 300 grams a day. Okay, and trust me, it's a little bit more than you think. And you're talking about a couple of baked potatoes, a little broccoli, some rice, and then voila, you can be there. Now, if you ate a Snicker bar and some potato chips, you will already go over that mark. Okay. And again, we don't want that. Just to let you know. Now, the way that, if you ever looked at a food chart, the way it's supposed to be is you're going to have about, 15% of that's going to be in protein, another 20 in fat, and the rest 60 to 65 in carbohydrates. Frankly, if we're trying to lose weight, we want to drop that number 65 down to around 45 to 50. Okay, and we want the protein a tad bit higher. Fats can be wherever they are because the healthy fats, okay, are going to be your avocados, your almond oils, and things like that. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at your plate. How many starches do you have on your plate? You really should only have one. So you shouldn't have like a baked potato and pasta, or bread and a baked potato or pasta, or rice and, you know, some other starch. It should be all by itself. Now remember, carbohydrates and vegetables per se doesn't really count because the body is using most of that as from water. And that's a lot of fiber that it wants. But when we're talking about the breads, the pastas, the rices, the potatoes, you shouldn't have no more than one on a plate. And I gave somebody an example this morning in a previous lecture, and I told him, I said, if you go to McDonald's and you get the big breakfast, which I used to love, but you say, okay, protein, I get some eggs, I get a sausage, but then now carbohydrates come in. I get a biscuit, hash browns, pancakes, and a quarter cup of syrup. That is way more than what you need. Okay. And then people wonder why, oh my God, you know, why is, you know, if people gaining weight and they eat at McDonald's, well, it's, you know, what did I just tell you? If you go and get you a Big Mac, it's 3 pieces of bread and an order of fries. Now, ain't nothing wrong with the fries, I love them, but that's a lot of carbohydrates. Because if you just took the bread off of a Big Mac is only going to be with 2 patties about 400 calories. But if you look on their menu, it'll tell you, oh, it's 900 calories. And you're probably trying to figure out where the other 400 came from. The bread. Okay. It's all in the bread. Okay, then you add the fries to it. Guess what? Now you got another 250 calories. And it keeps adding up. And then if you do that 2 or 3 times a day, whether you go to Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, Popeye's chicken is the worst. A chicken breast is only about 150 calories. That's a chicken breast. You go to Popeye's chicken and put that in my fitness pal, 470 calories. And you say, wait a minute, where this other 50% come from? In the breading, the flour that they use. Okay, we're not even talking about the grease yet. We're just talking about just the breading of the flour. Okay, you get a 2-piece with a biscuit, some red beans and rice. You done ate probably your entire daily caloric intake in one meal. So I'm just trying to put that in perspective, you know, of what that really looks like. I mean, you're better off, basically, I tell people, you're better off just going down to El Famous Burrito and get you a burrito, a steak burrito. You're better off and it's healthy. Okay, and people say, well, how could that be? I said, because all it is flour tortilla and beef, and it depends on how you get it, with beans. So all of the carbohydrates are coming from your beans, which are healthy. And unless they're refried beans now, that's a little bit different. But if you get the black beans, like I normally get, and you get a lot of onions and jalapenos and extra steak, voila, you're in like flint. All right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. So basically when choosing, like I said, when you're choosing a good carbohydrate range, portion control is very important. All right. So watch how much bread you eat. I'm not saying you can't eat bread. It's just how much. All right. I mean, you go to a restaurant, Margiano's, you go to, let's see, who's my notorious one? Olive Garden, and they slap them breadsticks in front of your face. Yeah, okay. You ate 5 of them before your meal came. Well, you didn't ate half of what you were supposed to eat for the day.
It's unlimited.
I know, that's why they do that. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So be very careful. The worst one is Red Lobster.
Them cheddar biscuits.
They put that biscuit in front of me, I'm like, don't bring no more baskets of biscuits. One biscuit is 500 calories.
What?
One biscuit is 500 calories.
Get out of here. Really? 500 calories in one biscuit?
Yes, because that biscuit is full of butter and the flour that they make it with. That's why they're so damn good.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's, I'm like, okay, no, enough.
How long does it, right, how long will it take us to burn the 500 calories?
You'll be doing these beat downs for a long time.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's an intense workout to burn off 500 calories. Okay, and I tell you, it's okay. Remember, I'm not saying don't eat them. I'm just saying be cognizant of when you go to some of these places, and we're talking about carbohydrates. Is what I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff on the page, so you can see that. Oh my God, I maybe eat. I mean, because you take it for granted. I did for a long time. I mean, before I really started tracking calories. And then I got into the nutrition, and I'm like, oh my God, no wonder, 80% of Americans are obese. Woo! And then think about what the kids do. Everybody goes to McDonald's or they go out to Wendy's, and so don't watch those Happy Meals. They're not what they're cracked up to be. So the first thing you're going to need to determine, like I said, is you want to keep your range between 45 to 50%. Okay. And once we get all of those numbers back, when they email me the sheet again, and then I will be able to tell you approximately how much each one of you should eat in protein, fat, and carbohydrates. All right. So make sure she sends that to me in the parking lot. Dang.
That's HIPAA.
Yeah, that is a. I came home, I tore up the whole house. I said, I know I had this smoke put up here somewhere. All right, and you gotta understand, we want you to keep your carbohydrates in a low range because most of you are diabetic and we don't want to spike the insulin levels. And if you're trying to lose the fat, this is the way we do it. We just limit the amount of carbs, not cut them out, just break them down a little bit throughout the day. And the biggest key is, I said, even with the protein, is whenever you eat, you should always be in mind that you eat one fat, one carb, one protein. Always remember that. So just don't snack on a carb like the vending machines give you. Okay, you want a well-balanced snack, if that's what you want to call it. Your body thinks it's a meal, you call it a snack. Okay, you got a peanut butter, you got apple, there you go. You got your carb, protein, and fat all at the same time. Okay, right there. And if people ask me about Chipotle, I said it's probably one of the best ones if you do not get the wraps that they use. Because now you can request a protein bowl. And it will have the carbs in it that you need. It will have the proteins in it that you need, and everything. And it's okay to use picadillo. It's okay to use guacamole because those are natural fats, okay, that complement the carbohydrate and the protein.
How about the new cauliflower rice?
Yeah, that's up to you. That's a preferred thing. It's good, but
Or like in the rice?
well, no. What they do is they kind of grind it up to make it look like rice. That's why they call it cauliflower rice.
Right.
Okay,
Oh.
all it is cauliflower, but the way they processed it, they made it look like rice, but it's cauliflower.
So is it the same in fats or carbohydrates?
Oh, it is a carbohydrate, but it's a complex carbohydrate, but it is high in fiber, which you need.
The cauliflower.
Yep, cauliflower, broccoli, they all belong to the same family.
So it's better to get the cauliflower.
Okay, I'm just not a cauliflower rice person.
No, I'm not either, but I mean, I had it just.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've been to Costco. I was there last night, and somebody else is. Oh, Pamela's jumping on it. And I've seen it last night, and I tried it a long time ago, and I was like, I'm just not a big fan of it. You know, like I said, that's just my personal preference. It is very healthy. It is good for you, but it's just something. I mean, I'm not really eating that. You know, I'm going to eat a brown rice, quinoa. Even jasmine rice. If you're going to eat a white rice, preferably jasmine, higher in nutrients than say Uncle Ben's or the Heartland rice. If you're on a quick fix, like I tell a lot of people since starting on Friday, my actually bodybuilding diet starts. So I tell people, I said, go out and get those minute made rices that come pre-made in the cup, and just keep them in the pantry for when you're on the go or you need, you know, a quick cup of rice. Boom, 1 minute in the microwave, you're done. You know, so these are little what we call hacks of the trade, because you know people. If you ask me the difference between the white rice and the brown rice and the black rice is the husk is still on the brown rice, and a lot of the nutrients are in there. White rices have been stripped a little bit of the nutrients, but they all contain the same amount of carbohydrates for you, okay, and the same amount of fiber, basically. Now, black rice has more fiber, but it's hard to find that unless you go to a specific type of store like Caputo's, or they may even have it at Seafood City inside of that shopping, you know, that store they got in there. So you got to remember something. When you are training, if you're doing very light training, you only want 3 to 5 grams per kilogram of carbohydrates. Like I said, for most of you, that's between 150, maybe 300 grams of carbs a day. Okay, the more you work out, the more carbohydrates you will need. Okay, so Juliana over there working out 2 times a day, you'll probably need some more carbs. Okay, but remember, we want the complex carbs, not the sugars. Okay, fruit is okay, just don't eat a whole bunch of it. Okay, when you make a smoothie, the smoothie is not for the fruit, it's for the vegetables. The fruit is only to give it a little sweetening flavor. So I believe that for those who have access to the page, I did put out the smoothie, I think it's 99 smoothie different recipes on how you make it. If you didn't get it, let me know. I will send it via email to everybody. Put it in a Dropbox link and you can download the whole thing. It's a whole book. So nothing wrong with smoothies. Smoothies are meal replacement. But I highly suggest that you get you a protein powder and add 1 scoop of that, because most women, again, as I said last month, do not get enough protein. Okay, so that is a good way to supplement your protein, is to add a scoop of that. That is plenty for that meal and probably for at least 2 meals. Any questions?
Do you have handouts?
We had them in the office. But if you got email, I can send you the actual hard copies. All you have to do is message me on Facebook or in the group and say, John, look, this is my email, boom, I send it to you. And I think I got yours, Pamela. Yeah, I do got yours, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I can send you, I can send that link straight to you. Matter of fact, I think I have everybody's email here in the group. So I will put that whole thing this evening in the group for you. You can download it and save it to your computer, and you can make as many smoothies until your heart is content. But remember, don't use a lot of fruit. You will notice when those recipes are saying you use like a quarter of an apple, okay? Because most of it's going to be the vegetables like celery, spinach, kale. So you can add kiwi, blueberries, okay, raspberries, but we don't want to add a whole bunch of them, okay? Because then it's going to be way too much sugar. That's the fructose that I was talking about, and that will spike your insulin levels. And if you get used to that flavor, you'll keep making them like they're a milkshake, and then you won't lose any weight.
Okay.
Okay, just giving you a heads up. Okay, always drink lots of water with carbohydrates. That's what they call it, carbohydrate. Okay, you must do that. Especially, if you are trying to diet and you were breaking down carbs, like cutting them back, you need to drink even more water. Okay, because you want that fiber to be kind of mushy to get straight through the intestine to push everything out. You gotta understand, in the vegetables, it's fiber, but there are also carbohydrates. The fiber is to move the food through the bowels, all of the waste. And you need water to do that. And if you don't drink enough water and you find yourself constipated, that is probably why. So always remember that. And remember, gauge your happiness and know when to add back the bread to your diet. Okay? You can take it away, you can put it back. Okay? Remember, everybody's different. So when I get those numbers, hopefully today or tonight, then I will have everybody's individual and I will send it to you what you should eat as far as your macros. But this month is going to be dedicated to carbohydrates. So I want everybody to make sure that you are part of the AIHSCHI group page on Facebook. Okay? I want y'all to be, because on that page, you're going to see, I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff on carbohydrates to reinforce what I'm talking about now. Because I can talk about carbohydrates for hours upon hours. Okay, that's how important they really are. So just like I did last month, it was all protein. This month is carbohydrates. So with
I
that,
love carbohydrates. I love them.
I know you love them potatoes, girl. I know that.
I love them any way I can get them.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. We just got to watch which ones we eat and how much we eat. Remember, portion control is always key, no matter what. We're going to be talking about fats and everything else coming up later in different months. But just remember, portion control. Okay? It's okay to eat carbohydrates. It's okay to have a little sugar. It's okay to eat pancakes. Just watch how many of you eat and how much syrup you put on. So without further ado, any questions before we get our workout on?
So what's the average intake of carbohydrates daily?
The average, according to the RDA, like I said, the minimum is 130 grams. But each one of you are different, okay? Based on your weight, your gender, your height, your age, it is different requirements, how much you work out. What is your job like every day? Like somebody who's doing a lot of walking on their job, like at Walmart or something, and throwing boxes around is going to require more carbohydrates than someone sitting behind the desk. Okay, they could be the exact same age, okay, same height and everything, but because one is doing more physically active work, it needs more carbohydrates. Why? Because carbohydrates is energy. It gets converted to sugar. And guess what the brain loves? Sugar.
Sugar.
That's what it feeds off of. And if you drop it too low, okay, then the brain will act very weird. Your hormones, especially for women, will be off. For men and women, you get what we call hangry.
Okay, I'm very.
Yeah. When you get hangry, that means you need some carbohydrates, quick and in a hurry. All right. If you're working out and you're feeling kind of weak or lethargic, that's because your blood sugar has dropped. All right. That's why I tell everybody before we work out, you know, by this time I know you guys have eaten, but I have people that I teach first thing in the morning come in my class, and we're about to do a blockbuster boot camp, and I look at them 5 minutes in, they look like they're about to pass out. The first question I ask is, did you eat? And they look at me, no. I say, here's some water, go on over there, sit down somewhere and get some air. Okay, because I tell everybody, I said, you have to eat. Remember, wrap this around your mind, first and foremost. Food is fuel. Taste comes second, not the other way around. And my best analogy is, you live in Chicago. St. Louis is 300 miles away. I'm going to give you a quarter tank of gas in your car and say, let's go to St. Louis. You won't make it. You might get to Joliet. You might get to Bolingbrook. That car will stop. Your body is the same way. And then if I gave you a full tank, it depends on the size of your car, a V8, a V6, a V4, you might get there on a half a tank. You may have to fill up twice, but guess what? When you're filling up, that means what? Your body is refeeding. You have to do that. Do not starve your body. It does not like that, and it will know it. And if you starve it, it will hold back all fat stores and burn muscle. Okay? And it has an easier time burning muscle than it does converting fat into energy or carbohydrates. Always remember that. So eat sensibly, okay? Portion control. The golden rule is, you know, life is going to happen. You're going to have parties. There's going to be funerals. There's going to be food at different places. You eat 80 to 90% clean most of the time. The other 20%, life happens. Okay? Always remember that. You know, you guys are not competing in a bodybuilding show. You're not running a marathon. You're not, you know, doing this Olympic sport. So don't worry about trying to, I mean, feel how you feel, how your clothes feel. That is going to be your determination of, your determining factor of how well, you know, you are doing. And remember, you can lie to me, you can lie to everybody else, but you know if you're not following what you're supposed to do. All right, are we ready to work out? All right, you guys get set up. Let me move all my stuff out of my way.
I'm excited. We can do this. It wasn't me. It was me.
I can't see him.
Where's Dominic?
Oh.
He's doing his training class, so he can't. Come on, sis. No, I can't. My arm hurts. Stay in the middle. Ruby's going in the middle. I'm right here. I climbed it.
Let's get it cranking. We're going to modify my check. And 3, 2, and hit it. Come on now. Bring it around. Come on. Roll them up. Come on. Come on, come on. Box it out there, boy. Come on. Now open up the fingers, drop it low. Karate Kid style. Fingers are open, spread them out. Let those shoulders get loose. Arm circles and watch. Keep them low at first, low at first. Keep them low, keep them low. And make them bigger, make them bigger. Relax the neck. Two, 1, reverse them. Keep them big. Bring them in low. Keep reversing. Chest is up, breathe. Now let's bring my shoulder stretch and bring it across. Hold it there, hold it there. 2, 1, switch it up. Remember that chin goes on top of that shoulder. Torso is straight. Pulling that shoulder across. 2, march it out now and go. Remember, get those arms to move with you. We got hip circles coming up in 20 seconds. Hip circle, come on. Make sure that knee comes up and goes out. Pull that knee up and bring it up and out. Switch legs, come on. Let's take it low. Side to side, bring it down. Come on. Woo-wee. 3, 2, let's grab those toes. Butt down low, elbows inside. Pull it down and up. Stretch it out and breathe. Woo! two, march it out. Let's go. Come on. Got a low high punch coming up. 2, 1, and. Make sure we're turning the whole torso. Left and right. Come on. Three, 2, turn the other side and go. Come on. Whoop. Come on now. Straight twisting punch. 2, 1, break it down. Here you go and turn. Come on, come on. Turn that body all the way around. Come across. Uppercut coming. 3, 2, uppercut. Come on, Mike Tyson uppercut. Uppercut. Bring him up. Pull it down, come on. Three, 2, lean it, back speed, back, break them down, come on. Knee thruster, 2, 1, stretch it out, and pull, come on. Come on now, come on, pull that in. And 3, 2, march it around. Hands are up. 3, 2, and pull. Nice and slow, come on. Two speed bag and go. Come on, come on. Three, 2, squeeze it out, set, pull. Three, 2, it out. Come on. Hands out, legs wide. Toe touch now. Side stretch, 2, 1, hold it there. Side stretch and pull. Three, 2, switch. Three, 2, hold it there. Set, squat. Break it down, come on. Two, 1, march it up. Get those hips to move, come on. Front lunge. 2, 1, and lunge. Come on, come on. Three, 2, walk it in, walk it in, walk it in. And back. Rear lunge coming next. Stepping back. 2, 1, and. Come on, step it back. Drive it up. Come on, come on. Come on now, here we go. 3, 2, walk it out. Two, 1, jog it out, jog it out. 2, water break, water break. Band.
No, this one.
I'm gonna sing that band. I got a band. Right in the center. 2. Chest is up. I want your back straight. Do the right arm first. Out to the side. 2, 1, out. Come on. Bring it out. Other side in 2, 1, go. Come on. Pull it out. High as you can. Come on now. 2. Rest it up, rest it up, rest it up. Go to the front. 2. To the front and. Come on now, let's do it. Three, 2, switch them up and up. Come on now. Two. Rest it up, curling them next. Hold on, Pam, hold on, hold on. Pam, hold it. 2, 1, 0, and curl, curl. Come on, come on. Chest is up, let's go, come on. Fifteen seconds, come on, come on. Call them up, let's go. Two, one. Press them up, shake them out. Tricep kickbacks. Little donut in the center. Ten seconds, we're gonna pull them up and go straight back. 3, 2, and back. Bend at the elbows only. Two, come on now, squeeze, squeeze. Stand it up, rest it up. Stay right where you are though. So roll it up. And 2, 1, and roll. Come on, come on. Three, two, let go of one side. Shoulder time. Two, press, press. Straight up, bring that elbow down, Lewis. Elbow down, up, there you go. Two, one, woo, switch sides. Three, two, and up. Elbow comes down, drive them up. Fold it in half, fold it in half. Looks like this. Keep the tension. Stand and don't let it slack in the center. Keep the tension, pull them back. Chest is up, back to straight. Come on. Come on, come on. Pull them out and in. Rear down to rest. Woo-wee. Booty man. Booty man.
Right, so I don't have to do them today.
Oh, yeah, you do. Oh, yeah, you do. Woo! 10 seconds. Feet together. Now. Burn them up, burn them up. Same leg. 3, 2, shift to the front. Same leg. Toe is up, remember. Flex that quad. Pull it up. Same leg, here we go, and 2, 1 to the back. Stand up tall. Exaggerate that chest, push it up. Squeeze that glute. Come on, squeeze it. Squeeze it. Other leg in 3, 2, to the side, other leg and go. Three, 2 to the front, then left. Woo! Watch your balance, Lewis. Here it comes in 3, 2, 1, to the back. Come on. Squeeze it out. Squeeze it. 2. Above those kneecaps.
Sushi, what? Sushi.
2 squats and a front lunge. 3, 2, and down, up, and step. Step, repeat, down, up, step. Step, down, up, step. Step, down. Whoop. Come on. Yeah. Woo. Hang on at 1. On your knees on the mat. Come on. 3, 2, and come on. Three, 2, switch. Two, on your side, come on. Three, 2, and up. Put your hands up. Come on. Two, 1, legs out, and lift. Toe down, toe down. Make them burn, come on. Pull that band up. Up. Two, 1 on your back, let's go, come on. Go up, out, in and down. Put those feet together. 3, 2, 1, and up, out, and down, come on. Whoop, whoop. Let's go, let's do it. Three, 2, other side, let's go, other side. Climb them down and 2, 1, bring that knee up, come on. Come on. Heads will roll on the floor, let's go.
Oh.
Come Let's go. Up. Three. Shoot leg out and left. Bring them up. Let's go. Come on. 3, 2 on your back. Hip thrust. Three, 2, and push them. Squeeze them. Push them up, squeeze them, come on. Two, one, on your butt, face forward, come on. Hands around your shoes, come on. Hands around those shoes. Hands behind you. Lift them up and pedal. Come on, pedal. Come on, come on.
Hurry up, we clear up.
15 seconds, come on. And time is coming up. 3, 2, lose the band.
A little water break.
Come on, come on. Time to crunch. 7, and crunch. Come on now, come on. Come on. 3, 2, feet up and crunch. Come on. Pull them in. Come on, come on, come on. Yep. Yep. Squeeze. Crunch. 3, 2. Put him down. Rush it up. 15 seconds. For the first crunch. 3, 2, pull. Woo-hoo! Rest it up. Bicycle crunches. 3, 2, 1, and pedals. Come on. 3, 2, woo, stretch it out. Woo! All right, come on. Plank it up, plank it up. Let's plank, people, plank. Don't go to sleep, Lewis. Time to plank it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, come right up. Come on, dive down. Pull it all the way up. Feet are flat, relax. Push them back, child pose. Come on. Bring on fours. Cat cow. Cat cow. Push it up. Hold it there. Now sink it down. Breathe it out. One more time. Cat-cow it up. Bring it down. We're gonna sprawl into my low squat. 2, 1. Pick them up and stay low. Come on. Come on. Get low. Get low. Hips are forward, hands are forward, chest is up. 3, 2, 1, and rise. Woo! Yes.
Whoa. Water.
Woo! All right. Until next week, people. Make sure she sends that to me via email. I need those numbers.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Okay.